Okay, in this chapter, these are the major topic, hydrogen and its compounds. Today we are going to concentrate on these three topics, isotopes, allotropes and isomer. All these terms, there are very minute change. So until unless you don't study minutely, you will not be able to know the difference. Okay. So first is isotopes. Isotopes are elements. These are for elements, these are for atoms, and these are for molecules. These are for molecule. There will be physical properties changed. Sometimes there can be chemical properties will be changed. Okay. Isotopes, they all will have same atomic mass. Okay, this is very basic thing. Let us not spend more time on this one. Hydrogen atomic number is same, but mass number is different. Atoms of same element having same atomic number, but different mass number. Okay. Then allotropes, most important for the competition point of view. Okay. So there are three allotropic forms. First one is called as molecular hydrogen. Okay. Second one is called as nascent hydrogen. What is the second one? Nascent hydrogen. Okay. And third and last one and but most important one is atomic hydrogen. Okay. So then third one, isomers. Isomers are, there are different types of isomer. Here we are going to talk about the nucleus spin isomer. Okay, what isomer we are going to study? Nucleus spin isomer. They are two types. Okay, ortho and para. Ortho and para. Okay, so main problem is that what they are going to be differed, that we are going to understand. So we will not discuss much about this. We are going to discuss very important thing is this one. Okay, tritium is the only radioactive, and hydrogen, these are the, there are two specialities in them. It is the only element which contain two fundamental particles. Other than this, every element in the universe have three fundamental particles. Which fundamental particle it does not have? Neutron. Neutron is not there in the hydrogen. Okay. Now coming to the allotropic forms. Okay. So what are the allotropic forms? What is the difference in them? What is the allotropic forms and what is the difference in them? Suppose if I react zinc plus sulfuric acid, zinc plus sulfuric acid. Everybody know that the product is ZnSO4 plus H2. Okay, but it is incomplete. But it is what? Incomplete. Okay, actually we should write for fraction of second. Okay, it is to be written as H. What it is to be written as? H. Okay, so this is nascent. NASCENT. Okay, nascent means movement of generation. What is the meaning? What this meaning is called as movement of generation. Okay, movement of generation. Understood? So in some books, absorbed hydrogen also given in the form of the allotropic form. Okay, actually it belongs to molecular hydrogen only. To show you more number of variety, that is written as absorbed hydrogen. Okay, okay. So this is about the nascent hydrogen. Nascent means movement of generation. Okay, when the reaction occurs, actually zinc plus sulfuric acid is producing zinc sulfate plus two hydrogen. The two hydrogen will be nascent hydrogen. Okay, but that nascent hydrogen combine with each other to form molecular hydrogen, second allotropic form. This is nascent hydrogen. And what is the second allotropic form? Molecular hydrogen. Okay, what it is going to be? Molecular hydrogen. Okay, molecular hydrogen. Okay, so this is the most unreactive and most stable. Molecular hydrogen is going to be the most stable but most unreactive. When it is given with some energy, it is going to split up as a hydrogen, 2 moles of atomic hydrogen. Okay, so this is called atomic hydrogen. This is called as what? Atomic hydrogen. All the three allotropes are collectively. So to form the atomic hydrogen, how many steps we should take? Very good. 2 steps. Okay. In the first step, it is going to give you nascent hydrogen. First, this is the nascent hydrogen to first step is molecular hydrogen, molecular step to the molecular hydrogen to the nascent, atomic hydrogen, which is more energetic. Energy wise, we are giving it energy. Okay, we are giving it energy, then only it is able to form. That's why atomic hydrogen is most reactive. Okay, I am arranging them. Molecular hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, then coming to the nascent hydrogen, nascent hydrogen, then comes to the atomic hydrogen. Okay, so from here to here there are certain properties varies. Okay, the very first property, the very first property that increases is stability decreases. What will decrease? Stability decreases. Okay, this is the generation. First, in any reaction, what it is going to form? Nascent hydrogen it is going to form. Okay, after the nascent hydrogen, it is going to convert into molecular hydrogen. If it is given with energy, then it is going to convert into atomic hydrogen. From left to right, stability decreases. So once stability decreases, reactivity is going to increase. Once reactivity increases, reducing power. This is most important. Okay, reducing power is going to increase. Okay, now I will give notes and I will ask energy. That when I give you notes PDF form, I will give you notes. I will ask how much energy is required from molecular hydrogen to atomic hydrogen. Okay, so that all the things which are important for the entrance point of view. Inorganic is less scoring because selective study people are not making. They are dumping their brains with the unnecessary information, with the information which never been asked. Okay, so as per the exam pattern, you should follow your process of study. Okay, so reducing power increases. Okay, so highest reducing power is by the atomic hydrogen. Okay, now it is all because hydrogen, smallest atom are not. So because of the smallest atom, bond length between them is the lowest among the all bond length. Lowest bond length, therefore, highest bond energy. Okay, highest bond energy. So because of the highest bond energy, so it is very difficult to convert into 2 moles of atomic hydrogen. Okay, this is an endothermic process. Which process? Endothermic process. Okay, so but there is advantage. If you give more amount of energy for a longer duration, and if you are able to accommodate them as an atomic hydrogen, when we are using it in the backward direction, it is going to give you molecular hydrogen, and it is going to liberate enormous amount of energy. So that energy can be used in welding. Okay, when 2 moles of atomic hydrogen, what is hydrogen? Atomic hydrogen combine together to form molecular hydrogen. This is a highly exothermic reaction. Which type of reaction it is? Highly exothermic reaction. Okay. So because of the highly exothermic in nature, the heat energy liberated is used for melting the metals. Heat energy liberated will be used for melting metals. Okay. That much amount of heat will be liberated. So that amount can be used to melt the metal. Once they are melted, they can be joined. That means welding. This is used in the welding. Okay. So that is used by the welding. Okay. So welding is that type of use is called as atomic torch. What it is called as? Atomic torch. Okay. That use is called as atomic torch. Is it understood now? Allotropic forms, any doubt about this? Okay, nascent hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, and atomic hydrogen. In any reaction, whatever the hydrogen produces at the moment of generation, such allotropes that such allotropes are called as nascent hydrogen. Then after some time that nascent hydrogen converted to molecular hydrogen. When you give the energy, that energy will be utilized to break the strong hydrogen bond and it will be converted into atomic hydrogen. Okay. So okay. So this is the doubt from the student that we are giving the energy, it is endothermic, and how it can create so much of high temperature. It is because this process is slow process. This process is fast process. Collecting the energy is time taking, but liberating the energy is a explosive reaction. So when it gives the explosive energy for a short duration, that atmosphere is going to be get heated up. Okay. So even though we are getting energy, same energy, but for fraction of seconds, like it is a nuclear fusion and fission, we are getting energy, and if we are able to disseminate into the longer time, it is called as a nuclear reactor. In nuclear reactor, we are using it for a good purpose. Same energy, if you are given with 1 minute or half an hour, then it will become as atomic bomb. That means we are using in the bomb form only. We are giving it as a reactor form, and we are getting it back in the form of the atomic bomb. Okay. So after allotropes, then coming to the isomers. Isomers also very much important. Okay. Here, which type of isomer? Nuclear spin isomer. What spin isomer? Nuclear spin isomers. Okay. So in every molecule, what is the problem is that electron spin will be opposite only. Okay. If a hydrogen is a diatomic molecule, and hydrogen is a diatomic molecule. Let us take this is a hydrogen molecule. Okay. And as I told you, this is the proton is the only, hydrogen is the only element which contain only two types of fundamental particle. Let us take this is proton, this is proton. Okay. And this is electron, this is electron. Here, as I told you, nuclear spin, there is a going to be spin, opposite spin. Okay. So first molecule, what I am concentrating here, it is suppose this is proton. Now this is proton. If the both are in same direction, okay, and if they are both are in opposite direction, here we are concentrating on the spin of the proton, not on the electron. Okay, one is clockwise, another is anti-clockwise. Here clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. Both can be in one direction. If they are on the same direction, then such isomer is called as ortho. Then such isomer is called as what? Ortho. Okay. If they are in the opposite direction, para. Okay. Now most of the students are confusing. In the exam, they are confusing which is ortho, which is para. Okay. So as already most of them are aware in the organic opposite. Opposite is what? Para. Okay. Ortho, meta, para. This is ortho, meta, para. Is it understood? And to remember, just to take the name of the God. Om Parameshwara. Okay. OMP. OMP means Om Parameshwara. Okay. So that means ortho, meta, para. So para is opposite, opposite. Okay. And ortho will be same. So there should not be any confusion in your future. Let a question may be any type of confusing, but you should remember ortho means same, para means opposite. Okay. Now, because of this, there will be magnetic moment. See, if it is plus half, and this is also will be plus half. So they will not get cancelled. Okay. There is a net magnetic moment. But here if it is plus half, here it will be minus half. Okay. Then the net energy, net spin will be how much it is? 0 here. So net magnetic moment due to the nuclear spin is going to be 0 and nuclear spin is going to be 1. Okay. So at the room temperature, this is going to be stable. Okay. Stability wise at the room temperature. Is it understood, students, now? Okay. So at room temperature, ortho is more stable than para. Ortho is more stable than para. Okay, ortho isomer is more stable than para isomer. Okay, then after this, ortho is more stable than para. Then coming to the, but temperature when decreased, low temperature favors the para. Okay, low temperature favors the para. That means the temperature decreases. Normally at the room temperature, it is around 75% is found in ortho form and remaining 25% is found in para form. Okay, 75% in ortho form and remaining 25% will be in the para form. But when you keep on decreasing the temperature, this 75% will reduce and this 25% value will increases. Okay, ortho meta para, not ortho para meta. Okay, Om Parameshwara, ortho meta para. Okay, so not ortho para meta. Okay, so this is about the types of isomer. Which isomer we talked about? Very good, nuclear spin isomers. Okay, now coming to the hydrates, there is an important topic called as hydrates. Okay, so hydrates already in 16th group and 15th group again we will discuss it, no problem. Hydrates are binary compounds. What are hydrates? Binary compounds. Okay, binary compounds of hydrogen. Binary compounds of hydrogen are called as hydrides. Okay, binary means there should be only two type of element should be there. Okay, and that one element should be, okay, one element should be hydrogen. Okay, so that means there should be only two type of element and in that one should be hydrogen. Okay, now here just before I told you absorbed and adsorbed. Okay, so that I am going to clear it now. Understood? Now depending on the type of bond, between the hydrogen and other element. Okay, so depending on the type of bond between hydrogen and other element, they are divided into ionic hydrides. Okay, ionic hydride means hydrogen is going to form ionic bond, like sodium hydride. So in sodium hydride, hydrogen will be minus and sodium is going to be plus. Sodium is going to be plus. Ionic hydride, ionic bond, they are called as salt-like. They are also called as salt-like, saline. Okay. Then next is covalent. Next one is what? Covalent. Okay. So covalent, that is already understood. Okay. So there will be covalent bond between the hydrogen and given element, like NH3, like CH4, like B2H6. Now, if you carefully observe, after hydride formation, there is lone pair over here. There is nothing here. There still electrons are required here. That means covalent hydrides are further divided into three types. Covalent hydride further divided into how many types? Three types. Okay. These are called as electron rich. What they are called as? Electron rich hydrides, because electrons are already available and they got only sufficient. They are not having extra. So this is called as electron precise. What it is called as? Electron precise, as per the requirement they have, and they have less. Okay, they have less, so they are electron deficient. What they are called as? Electron deficient hydrides. This is about the covalent hydrides. Okay, now coming to the metallic hydrides. Okay, and fourth one is interstitial hydrides. What is the fourth one? Interstitial hydrides. Okay, in metallic hydride there will be metal and hydrogen. Okay, but these are the non-stoichiometric bonds. What they are? They are non-stoichiometric in nature, like Cr. Okay, H 0.83, and if you increase the pressure, this ratio can change. Okay, so they are all what? So they are all non-stoichiometric. That means ratio will not be fixed. What will not be fixed? Ratio will not be fixed metallic hydrides. Okay. Then interstitial hydrides. Next, what is the next? Interstitial hydrides. Okay. Here I am going to get a doubt of absorption and adsorption. Okay. So some people are asking, some students through the chat option, they are asking what is the absorption and adsorption. That also will be discussed, and ratio, and what is the interstitial, what is the stoichiometric and non-stoichiometric. Okay. Suppose this is a metal crystal lattice. What it is? Metal crystal lattice. Okay. Here metal atoms or ions are arranged in a regular pattern. Okay. Now there is a small space between them. If the hydrogen molecule as it is comes here, then it is called as absorption. What it is called as? Absorption. It is going to form absorption. Okay. Now, if there is one more metal over here also, this hydrogen is going to come and form bond over here. Okay. Then it is called as adsorption. What it is called as? Adsorption. Okay. So this is molecular, this is atomic. What it is? It is atomic and this is molecular. Understood? So how many molecules are going to form atomic and how many of them are molecular? There is no fixed ratio. Okay. That's why there is a difference. See, one small letter ab means inside, ad means surface. Okay. AD, adsorption is a surface process. Okay. AB, absorption is a bulk process. In chemistry, we call it as a bulk. Okay. So inside this, is it understood? Non-stoichiometric means we cannot say with one chromium how many hydrogen is going to stay. That depends upon the how many elements. That depends upon the how many elements are available. Okay. So this is about the types of hydrates. Any doubt about this? Okay. Then very easy topics are there. Preparation and properties. Okay. Preparation and properties. They are not much important. Okay. Important in the sense there is nothing to explain in them, but there is one or two topics which I need to explain. Okay. Hydrogen is prepared by the electrolysis. Hydrogen is prepared is by the electrolysis. Okay. So of the water, H2O on dissociation will give you H plus plus OH minus. Okay, H plus plus OH minus. So there will be two parts. One is reaction at anode. Okay. Another is reaction at cathode. Reaction at cathode. Anode is electrically negative, anode is electrically positive, cathode is electrically negative. Anion comes to anode. Okay. So always you should remember 4 moles of OH you should write. How many moles you should write? 4 moles of OH. Okay. Interstitial hydrates, already just I told you, interstitial hydrates means between the crystal lattice, if they are accommodated, then they are called as interstitial hydrates. Okay. So 4 moles of OH will come together, will lose its water, lose its charge, and will form as a 4OH plus 4 electrons. Okay. So this 4 moles of OH combined together to form 2H2O plus O2. Okay. So oxygen is liberated at anode. Okay. But at cathode, it is H plus plus electron will give you hydrogen. Okay. That's all.